Iran is the fourth largest oil reserves in the world. Great Britain had controlled Iran's oil for decades through the Anglo-Iranian Oil Corporation. On April 28, 1951, Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh was elected. During his tenure, he introduced a range of social and economic policies. One of the most significant policies was the nationalization of Iran's oil industry, removing control to British Petroleum aka BP. After months of talks, the Prime Minister broke off the negotiations and denied the British any further involvement in Iran's oil industry. Britain then appealed to the US for help, which eventually led the Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) to overthrow Mossadegh and restore power to Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the last Shah of Iran. Pahlavi created one of the repressive policies in Iranian history. No sanctions were imposed on Iran during the Shah's reign, however, Iranians wanted control over their own resources. As a result, Iranians overthrew the Shah in 1979. The US responded with sanctions and it has continued to isolate the country for decades. The US and Iran have been at each other for a while now. Starting with Trump's decision in 2018 to pull out the Iran nuclear deal that led to the reimposition of US sanctions designed to paralyze Iran's economy. And Iran retaliated by resuming uranium enrichment. In June 2019, Iran was blamed for attacks on oil tankers. In the same month, the Revolutionary Guard shot down a US surveillance drone. Then in September, a Saudi oil refinery was hit by a drone strike, damaging facilities that process the vast majority of the country's crude output and raising the risk of a disruption in world oil supplies. Houthi rebels Yemen claimed they did the attack, but US blames Iran. At the end of December, the Americans bombed Iraq and Syria, killing 25 militia fighters linked to Iran. Iranian people protested at the US embassy in Baghdad. As tensions between the US and Iran escalate, General Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's elite Quds military force and one of the most powerful figures in the Islamic Republic, was killed by US drone strike at Baghdad International Airport on January 3, 2020. President Donald Trump boastfully claimed that he ordered the killing of Soleimani. Trump did not inform the Congress and therefore acted illegally, in violation of the Constitution, the War Powers Act and international law. Trump said Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him. The assassination of Soleimani, however, has united many parts of the country and political factions. The strike drew a vow of crushing revenge from Iran. The State Department told Americans in Iraq to leave the country immediately, and US troops in the region are on high alert. Days after the killing of Soleimani, Iranian authorities have announced a bounty of Trump's head during the televised funeral of the general, offering $80 million. Given the rising tensions between the US and Iran, more local and international groups are calling for the removal of all US bases on foreign soil which used to launch wars and attacks of imperialist aggressions and violations of national sovereignty.